The reason that I invited Donald Trump is that when Donald shows up, he brings with him armies of television cameras. The mainstream media will show up in force to film what occurs, and I think there is no more important issue facing this country right now.
All right, whatever is the case, Donald Trump and Ted Cruz almost seem like brothers these days. They were comrade in arms to protest this Iran deal. To little avail. You heard some of the chicanery behind the scenes and some of the political theater that all but assured the president will get that deal through, even though healthy majorities in both the House and Senate will still be against it. We've got Lindsey Graham, the presidential candidate, South Carolina Senator, joining us right now. Senator, what do you make of this, and what was an odd pairing, at least, of seeing Ted Cruz and the Donald on the same page on opposing this thing?
Well, I'm glad that they're talking about why this is a bad deal. So it's a terrible deal. If a guy threatens to cut your throat, don't buy him a knife. You're giving Iran $100 billion to buy more weapons, a pathway to a bomb, a missile to deliver it without any requirement to change their behavior. So I'm glad they're speaking up. I hope all of us will. At the end of the day, I got one goal, Neil. I want every member of Congress to vote on this deal. I want to put it on the president's desk. If we don't do that, we're doing the Congress a disservice, the people a disservice, and the next president a disservice. I want to make Barack Obama veto Congress's disapproval.
Well, there's indications that might not even happen the way these labyrinths are forming here. But, you know, there was a lot of rage focused on Republican leadership, specifically John Boehner and Mitch McConnell. Do you think that was fair, that they botched it, that they made a pact that was stupid? What do you think?
Here's what I would tell you. Obama's on the phone right now trying to get Democratic senators to not let this deal go to a final vote. At the same time, you got Ted Cruz and House Republicans trying to help Obama. Obama's nightmare is a debate and a vote. He doesn't want a debate on the floor of the Senate, an up or down vote on a motion to disapprove, because 58 senators, bipartisan 58 senators, will reject this deal. He doesn't want that, and apparently our House colleagues are trying to help him, even though they don't want to help him. This would be the biggest mistake in foreign policy for the Republican Party in a very long time if we don't require every member of Congress to vote on this deal.
All right. In other words, you want everyone on record, yay or nay. How did you vote for this? I guess under the assumption that, given the unpopularity of this, 1 in 5 Americans actually like it, that it would hurt them. But what if it doesn't? What if it never gets to that point? Do you think that is a failure of leadership, that they mishandled this, and that the very fact that it took 2/3 of a vote to get this thing shut down, and there was no way in heck that was going to be easy to do, that the president snookered them?
No, I think what we're doing is about to shoot ourselves in the foot. There is a pathway to get a vote. We will pick up 2 more senators. We have 58 senators against the deal. All we need is 2 more to have a final vote. Under the setup in the Senate, the motion
I thought the president had 42 who support this deal. I know we're talking a little apples and oranges, but he might be able to avoid that altogether.
Only if Republicans help him. Here's what I think will happen. 2 Democratic senators are going to say, yes, we should vote. I will vote to support the deal, but it's too important not to have a debate and a vote. 98-1, we voted on this process. So Harry Reid is trying to change the rules in the middle of the game, and apparently some Republicans are trying to help Harry Reid and Barack Obama. The worst thing the Republican Party could do is avoid a vote on Barack Obama's deal with Iran. Let's have a vote. We will get a bipartisan majority against the deal. He will veto it. It will marginalize the deal, and the next president will have a better opportunity to get us a better deal if Obama has to veto congressional disapproval.
You don't like Donald Trump or Ted Cruz, do you?
I like Ted, and I don't dislike Mr. Trump, actually.
He annoys you. He seems to annoy you.
No, I think he's just got poor judgment when it comes to politics.
What about Donald Trump?
I just think his foreign policy makes no sense to me. But I don't dislike Donald Trump. I mean, look, he's tapped into frustration. He's really riding a wave. But when he suggests that the best way to destroy ISIL is to go to Syria and Iraq and take their oil to pay for our wounded warriors. Not only will that not destroy ISIL, it will destroy our presence in the Mideast for generations. You know, we're in a war here.
Yeah.
And you got people fighting this war. They've been fighting it for a decade. You got one commander-in-chief, and Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. I hope we'll be serious about picking a commander-in-chief who understands how to destroy ISIL, understands the Mideast, and for God's sakes to the Republican Party, let's have a vote on Barack Obama's deal with Iran. Let's all vote no, and we'll have
But
Democrats
you know, Senator,
join
what
us.
I find weird, you're a decorated veteran, you served your country honorably, so did Governor Rick Perry, and you guys are like in nowhere land in the polls.
Yeah.
Does that bug you that in these times of life and death and real military sensitive issues, you're like the invisible men? No disrespect intended.
No. I mean, you've been very fair to me. I got nobody to blame but me. If I don't do well, it will be my fault. It won't be Mr. Trump's fault. But here's why I think I will do well beginning in New Hampshire. I think I'm the best prepared to be commander-in-chief, that I'll have a plan to destroy ISIL that will require American boots on the ground in Iraq and eventually Syria, and that I could get us a better deal with Iran because everybody in the Mideast knows me, and most importantly, I think I know them. So the bottom line is we're a long way to go. I think I'm going to do well in New Hampshire, being best qualified to be commander-in-chief and a problem solver. But if I don't make that case, there's nobody to blame but me. But honest to God, I believe above all else that I'd be a very good commander-in-chief for the 1% who've been protecting us all. 33 years in the Air Force, 140 days on the ground as a reservist in Iraq and Afghanistan. I understand the threats we face, and I'm willing to deal with them.
Senator, it's always a pleasure having you, sir, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lindsey Graham.
Thank you.
Well, another guy who sort of was getting sucked out of the oxygen room today was Jeb Bush. He has this big tax plan. He simplifies the tax code from 7 brackets to 3, cuts corporate taxes from 35 to 20%, the lowest on earth, nothing, nada, crickets. Does that tell you all you need to know about how the Donald is making the others disappear? And is that fair or right after this?